Yes, in the latest in the Justice Yashwant Varma case, the Supreme Court has said that they will not entertain the FIR plea in the cash haul. This is 2 months after that cash that was found burnt at the judge's home and a huge sum of cash that was recovered, which was of course burnt. The Supreme Court on those bases has told the petitioner to approach the President and the Prime Minister first. This is a key statement coming in from the top court, where the Supreme Court has said that in-house inquiry done on Justice Varma already. You would remember how the Vice President had questioned as to why there is no FIR on the judge, and there was a raging debate on the several decisions taken in by the Supreme Court Collegium. Now, in the latest, Supreme Court has dismissed the plea as far as filing an FIR against Justice Yashwant Varma is concerned. And most importantly, the court has asked the petitioner to approach President and Prime Minister first. Nalini Sharma will join us shortly to take us through the details of what the top court said. Meanwhile, let's listen into that statement by the Vice President.
Its source, its purpose, did it pollute the judicial system? Who are the bigger sharks? We need to find out. Already 2 months have gone by, and no one knows better than people before me. Investigation is required to be with expedition. So is the case with the registration of an FIR. I do hope and believe that the Supreme Court acted the very best so far, because it had a legacy issue of judgments imparted in 90s. But now is the time to take a call. Partly the confidence has been restored by Justice Khanna when he put in public domain documentation which people thought will never be shown to them. That was a big step by him to project accountability and transparency. If democratic values have to prosper, I'm sure this is a test case. There must be swift investigation by those concerned with the investigation.
Nalini Sharma with us on the broadcast. Nalini, the court has primarily said that since the petitioners have not filed a representation before the President and Prime Minister seeking action, the writ petition seeking mandamus is not maintainable. What do you make of it?
Well, essentially, Suesha, what the Supreme Court has said today during the hearing is that there is a procedure in place that needs to be followed. It's not that a petition cannot be filed in the Supreme Court asking for an FIR to be registered, but there is a procedure that needs to be followed before such a petition is filed. Now, Justice Abhay S. Oka, who was hearing the matter, who was heading the bench, stated that since the report, along with Justice Varma's response, has already been forwarded to the President and the Prime Minister, that is the relevant authority who the petitioner should approach first. And in case they refuse to do anything or do not take action on his representation, then in response to that, he can of course approach the Supreme Court asking for the FIR to be registered. But considering that the relevant authorities have not been approached first, the Supreme Court will not be the right forum to take this up. At the same time, the Supreme Court also said that there was an in-house inquiry committee that was set up by the Chief Justice of India, after which this report was submitted. So all of that is according to the procedure that has been laid down by the Supreme Court, which is why it's important that the petitioner also follows that. It remains to be seen whether or not a representation will be made before the PM and the President asking for the same, for an FIR to be registered against Justice Yashwant Varma. And in case there is no action on that, will the petitioner then come back to the Supreme Court is now what we have to watch out for.
All right, Nalini, many thanks for getting us those details. Of course, we come back to you for further updates. For the moment, we move on.